Garden. We're back. I'm Avalon.
And I'm Ray. It's been a long time.
And at this point, I have just more or less accepted that we have permanent coughs now. That's a new feature.
Yay.
It's been months and it's still happening. So hopefully now that we're on summer break and away from the germ factory that is children, maybe we'll start getting better.
Would be nice.
But for now, just accept that there may be some loud coughing every so often. We'll try to edit it out or mute the mic when we sense it about to happen, but,
We'll try.
there's just not very much we can do about that. So, sorry. We're back, though. No more delays. And let's get right to it. I have zero memory of where we left off. This is like coming back to a new book for me. I've been reading so many other things.
I mean, to be fair, also, have we really been able to retain anything that happens in this book?
It's been a struggle week to week. It's been, at least 2 months since we read anything out of this book. I don't remember much of anything. I've probably forgotten most of my character voices. I only remember that I was doing harpy shrills for Selena. I've forgotten a lot of, the little in-jokes, so,
It's fine, we'll figure it out. We'll come up with new in-jokes.
It's a new series now. This is the final season of Throne of Ass. Time to just throw everything that came before in the garbage. This is what you get. Sorry. Anywho, chapter 43. Out of what, 55? Yeah. Selena opened her eyes. She was warm, and the candlelight was golden. She could smell lotus blossoms and a bit of nutmeg. She made a small noise and blinked, attempting to raise herself from the bed. What had happened? She could only recall climbing the stairs, then concealing the secret door behind the tapestry. Selena gave a start and grabbed at her tunic, gaping as she found that it had somehow turned into a nightgown, and then marveled at her hand as she lifted it into the air. It was healed. Completely healed. The only remnants of the wounds were a half-moon-shaped scar between her thumb and index finger, and little bite marks from the Ritterak's lower teeth.
Oh yeah, she fought the
knick-knack paddywhack.
The knick-knack paddywhack in the basement.
She ran a finger over each of the chalk-white scars, tracing their curve, then wiggled her fingers to ensure no nerves had been severed. I'm just so much in love with the gaping that she'd found her tunic had turned into a nightgown. Not to be a petty bitch, but I'm absolutely going to be a petty bitch throughout this entire thing. There's just such a funny way to phrase, someone had dressed her in a nightgown, or... Yeah. No, it turned into, it just grew on its own.
Yes. Okay, but...
The image is funny to me.
I have something to be petty about already. So as someone whose hand did get chomped by just a normal fucking dog, as opposed to a gigantic hellbeast creature, she should absolutely have nerve damage on her hand.
Yeah, what the hell? Well, then again, it's magic, but it's still.
Reconstructive surgery is also a type of magic.
Truly it is. Not infallible, but most definitely useful. How was this possible? It was magic. Someone had healed her. She lifted herself and saw she was not alone. Nehemia, best girl, sat in a chair nearby, staring at her. There was no smile on her lips, and Selena shifted as she beheld the mistrust in the young woman's eyes. Fleetfoot lay at her feet. Fleetfoot lay at her feet is just such a sentence. What happened? Selena asked. That's what I have been waiting to ask you, said the princess in Elway. She gestured at Selena's body. If I hadn't found you, you would have died from that bite wound within a few minutes. Even the blood she dropped on the floor had been cleaned. Thank you, she said, then started as she looked to the darkened sky beyond the windows. What day is it? If somehow 2 days had passed and she'd missed the last test, it's only been 3 hours. Oh no, we almost had some dramatic tension. Selena's shoulders sagged. She hadn't missed it. She still had tomorrow to train and the test the day after that. I don't understand. How did... That's not important, Nehemia interrupted.
Don't worry about it.
I want to know where you received that bite. There was blood only in your bedroom, no traces of it in the hallway or anywhere else. Selena clenched and unclenched her right hand, watching the scar stretch and contract. She had come so close to dying. She flicked her eyes to the princess, then back to her hand, then back at me, then back at her hand.
Now back to me.
The bite wound is now scarred. Whatever Nehemia's involvement was, it wasn't with Cain. No fucking shit, dumbass. I'm not who I pretend to be, Selena said quietly, unable to meet her friend's eyes. Lillian Gordania doesn't exist. Nehemia didn't say anything. Selena made herself
I'm not a fucking idiot.
Selena made herself look her in the eye. I feel like there's a better way to phrase that sentence, but
There's a better way to write this book.
Nehemia had saved her. How had she dared to believe that Nehemia might be the one controlling that creature? Because you're kind of racist, dude. Like, I don't know how else to tell you this.
I'm just over in the corner and it's all like, so like running counter of how many paragraphs it'll take for her to be all like, oh, but she didn't. It's like,
yeah, how long until we're blaming Nehemia again?
Yeah, it's like, literally she flip-flops on it. How could I ever have suspected Nehemia? And then, oh, Nehemia's up to something. It's like...
Girl, I think you might just have some prejudices that you need to unpack. Possibly. Also, this is something that is coming back to me that I don't remember if I have complained about before, but this whole, oh, this is what she said in Elway, and she just, you know, they always mention if she's speaking Elway or not, even though we know that she is fluent in
both. Yeah.
Aderlinese or whatever the fuck you want to call that language. Part of the reason I've been thinking about this is because we've been considering doing some voice acting just for fun. And that makes me think of, you know, how I choose voices for these, like, silly voices, yeah, but why it has become so difficult to have a voice for Nehemia, and that's because we have no fucking idea what Elway sounds like. There's no context or, like, detail given about the accent that comes along with this language. We're not, you know, they'll talk about how Nehemia doesn't sound fluent in whatever language they're speaking in the earlier chapters, but we never get a sense of, oh, she's elongating her vowels, or she has trouble producing this particular phoneme.
Well, that's because Sarah J. Maas would have to have basic knowledge of how people who are struggling through a second language speak.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Like, I get it.
Yeah.
There was zero world building.
Yeah.
Done in this book that wasn't just basic fantasy tropes.
Well, yeah, but like...
But it's so frustrating as someone who likes... Because I'm reading this, you know, we're basically a shitty audiobook. We're the worst audiobook that's ever existed. So I like to... So since there is no visual for the people listening to the video, I like to give the characters different voices so that if there's no dialogue tags, at least they can still follow who's talking.
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to do that with Nehemia, and she's such a central character that I feel like she should have her own little voice. But I don't know how to, you know, make her accent sound like, and obviously I'm not going to do something that's like racially insensitive, like trying to sound like Indian or
except, like, let's be real, that's what Sarah J. Maas would want. It's just all like sound foreign, and It's just like,
And I'm like,
okay.
bestie.
Because, like, okay, let's be real here. That's Nehemia's whole character, is that she's foreign.
Yeah, she's foreign. But yeah, I'm just like,
Like, as cool and as much, potential as she might have, she's never going to move beyond being a foreigner.
and she dies in the second book anyway, so
She
yeah.
uh she's Selena's racially ambiguous friend. To prove that Selena isn't racist.
Yeah, to prove that she really cares about the bigotry in Adderlin. But yeah, I'm just like, ooh, my skin is so light that I am currently eggshell colored, and one of our friends recently remarked that that is the tannest they have ever seen me. Literally, her words were, wow, you look so tan. And I'm fucking like off-white eggshell here, so.
Well, I mean, you're looking kind of like a light brown egg.
Yeah. But still, I am too white to just have sound for and be my voice direction, SJM. Anyway, all right, moving on. I just wanted to rant about that and, mildly promote that we might be doing voiceover work.
On my channel,
Yeah,
It
on
won't
Ray's
be,
channel.
It won't be on this channel.
But, like, we like reading webtoons together and doing a little voice acting, and it's been a lot of fun, so we thought maybe we might upload some of that on Ray's channel.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Well,
All the people who followed me for my cosplay videos are just gonna be like, what the fuck is this shit?
I think they'll enjoy it. And we intend to cosplay Cinderella Boy anyway, so it would it would track.
Yeah.
Alright, anywho. It's only been 3 hours, blah 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 blah. Selena made herself look her in the eye. What a shitty sentence. Nehemia had okay. The truth was the least she owed her friend. My name is Selena Sardosian. Nehemia's mouth parted. Slowly, she shook her head. But they sent you to Endovier. You were supposed to be in Endovier with... Nehemia's eyes widened. You speak the Elway of the peasants, of those enslaved in Endovier. That was how you learned. Again, Nehemia's just the fucking best character in this entire book. God, I hate that she dies in the next one.
Nehemia, you deserve a better book, bestie. You don't need to be here.
does.
Girl, you can have a solo career. You don't need to be here.
Selena's breathing became a bit difficult. Nehemia's lips trembled. You went to Endovier? Endovier's a death camp. But why did you not tell me? Do you not trust me? No.
She doesn't. No matter what this bitch says in the next few paragraphs, she don't trust you at all.
Of course I do, she lied. It doesn't say she lied, but she lied.
She lied, girl. You lie like a rug.
Especially now that she'd proven beyond a doubt that she wasn't the one responsible for those murders.
That's
so
not
you
trust. That's not trust, bitch.
So you admit it.
Having to prove without a shadow of a doubt that this person isn't, slaughtering people. That's not trust, girl. That's just collecting evidence.
I was ordered by the king not to speak a word of it. A word of what? Nehemia said sharply, blinking back her tears. The king knows you're here? He gives you orders? I'm here for his amusement. Selena sat up straighter in bed. I'm here because he's hosting a competition to be the king's champion, and after I win, if I win, I'm to work for the king for 4 years as his lackey and assassin, and then I'll be freed and my name cleared. Nehemia just looked at her, damning her with that blank stare. You think I want to be here? Selena shouted, even though it made her head pound. It was either this or Endovier. I had no choice. She put her hands on her chest. Before you start lecturing me on my morality, or before you run away and hide behind your bodyguards, just know that there's not a moment that goes by when I don't wonder what it will be like to kill for him, the man who destroyed everything that I loved. She couldn't breathe fast enough. Not as the door inside her mind opened and closed, and the images that Selena had made herself forget flashed before her eyes.
I have way more problems than you do, girl whose entire country is getting genocided.
Like, imagine complaining to Marth.
Damn, Marth. I'll tell you what, like, my pet is sick. He's just like, wow, that sounds really bad.
Listen, I know you're in exile from your kingdom, and there are people hunting you down as we speak, and your citizens are being massacred and enslaved en masse. Literally just mentioning how Endovier was, like, full of people from Elway
It's
who were
like,
sent to a death camp. But, you know, she has problems too.
Selena really, like, cannot read the room, like, at all. And if I cared about her more, I would be all like autistic, but I'm not. I don't care about her. She's just stupid.
See, she doesn't lack the ability to read the room in an autistic way.
Yeah.
She lacks the ability to read the room in a self-centered way.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, cool that, you know, there's mention of all these images flashing through her mind of the things she made herself forget. We don't know what any of those things are. We are not included in this revelation. We do not get any of this information.
It would be nice to have this information so I could possibly, you know, sympathize with this character more while she's complaining to the girl who's getting her entire race genocided that she also has problems too.
Yeah, and listen, I'm down for an unreliable narrator. I'm okay occasionally with withholding information from the reader if it serves the purpose of the story and the themes of the story. Like Christopher in Alice. He has a big problem with denial.
He's not a reliable anything.
If something is uncomfortable...
Maybe a child care worker. That's about it.
Very good at that. But
he's good at that, and that's about it.
But yeah, because his whole thing is that whenever something becomes uncomfortable for him, he just represses the shit out of it.
He's like, oh, not gonna think about that.
Therefore, the reader cannot fully trust anything that you are told from his perspective. Because he downplays and tries to, you know, make it less scary in his mind than it actually is, or make it less bad than it actually is, or if there is something bad happening, he'll just turn a blind eye and ignore it. And that's a flaw that he has. It's his big character flaw. So far, we have not seen that Selena's flaw is being in denial about anything, or trying to come up with her own reality to cope.
It's just lazily keeping information from the audience.
Yeah, it's just
in a way that, like, doesn't read as, like, intriguing or interesting. It's just SJM showing up with, like, a big stop sign, being like, oh, you're not allowed to see that yet.
See, I was thinking of more like Jingle Keys, like, ooh, there's a backstory here, there's a backstory.
Yeah, like, but she's not letting
we're
you
not
actually
gonna get it.
see it. She's just kind of, like, forcibly covering her hand over your eyes, like, up, no, not allowed to see that yet. And we're just like, okay, I guess.
Sir not appearing in this book. She closed them, wishing for darkness. Nehemia remained silent. Fleetfoot whined. In the quiet, people, places, words echoed in her mind. Then footsteps. They brought her back. The mattress groaned and sighed as Nehemia sat. A second lighter weight joined her. Fleetfoot. Nehemia took Selena's hand in her warm, dry one. Selena opened her eyes, but stared at the wall across the room. Nehemia squeezed her hand.
Nehemia, you don't gotta be comforting this bitch.
Oh, we're about to...
Ooh, sorry.
We're about to get to one of my favorite fucking parts of this whole thing. And by favorite, I mean most hated. So fucking prepare your anus for that.
Okay.
You are my dearest friend, Selena. It hurt me more than I realized it would to have things become so cold between us. To see you look at me with such distrust in your eyes. And I don't...
She even knew that she's like, you don't trust me. You a liar.
Yeah, like, again, what is the whole point of this conversation? Well, it's so Nehemia can comfort Selena. I
Ugh.
hate this. I hate it here.
This is real white woman tears hours.
Yeah. And I don't want to ever see you look at me like that again. So I wish to give you what I have given to few before. Her dark eyes shone.
A kiss.
I wish. It's worse than that.
I well no, that would be compelling and interesting at least.
Prepare yourself.
I know. I just
Names are not important. It's what lies inside of you that matters. I know what you went through in Indovier. I know what my people endure there day after day. Remember,
just a reminder.
multiple of her people are there.
Her entire country is getting genocided. Anyway.
I know. Oh, good, sorry, but you did not let the mines harden you. You did not let it shame your soul into cruelty. The fuck do you know? The princess traced a mark on her hand, her fingers pressing into Selena's skin. You bear many names, and so I shall name you as well. Are you fucking ready? She's gonna get her fucking spirit name. I cannot think of a more stereotypical white person interacting with non-white person.
Into the void.
But wait till you hear what the name is.
I don't want to hear it.
You're gonna.
I don't want to hear it.
You're gonna. Her hand rose to Selena's forehead, and she drew an invisible mark. I name you Alentia. She kissed the assassin's brow. Hey, we got a kiss. We got a kiss. I give you this name to use with honor, to use when other names grow too heavy. I name you Alentia. Spirit that could not be broken.
Alright, I'm gonna head out.
Head out.
Can I just kill myself right now?
I'm gonna call DreamWorks.
Can I
I'm gonna give DreamWorks a phone call.
can I just go?
I just remember reading this the first time and just stopping and being like,
Like,
no.
okay,
No.
I'm not as connected with my native heritage as I would like to be, mainly just because of a long history of fuckery and shit in my family. But I'm like feeling it right now. I'm those TikToks you kept showing me. It's just like, oh, can I have a spirit name? Sure.
I love Eagle Blackfeather though.
I'm standing there. I'm standing there with the bolo tie and the wide brimmed hat, and I'm just getting some white person coming up to me like, oh, can I have a
Mr. Indigenous.
Mr. Indigenous? Can I have an indigenous name? And my brain is just like shutting down to protect itself as I stare off into the distance indigenously.
You hear the flute music and the
The flute and the red-tailed hawk.
because it's not an eagle.
It's not an eagle. Eagles don't make that noise. And it's just bear pisses in woods.
I name you white bitch.
I name you white bitch.
I'm pretty sure that was one of the Eagle Blackfeather jokes.
Yeah.
It's just white person. But like in Ojibwe, I think Eagle's Ojibwe.
Yeah.
It's just I stare at spirit that could not be broken, and I'm like horse.
Spirit that could not be broken, and like in secret it means something like dump truck.
I wish.
She tells her some dramatic and like inspiring translation, but no, it's just something nonsense. It's like all those fucking tattoos of kanji and shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like from a takeout menu.
I just cannot believe that she really ripped off Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron like that. The scene itself is horrible and just so stereotypical tropey shit, but There are so few lines of spoken dialogue in that movie. So much so that they tend to stand out.
That's because Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron was just the movie that they gave James Baxter to let out all of his inner horse girl tendencies.
And it worked great.
It worked great.
I know you're not like the biggest fan of that movie, but I really, really like it.
I do find that movie as boring as like dirt, but the animation is beautiful. I will definitely cop to that.
Like, honestly, I would consider it one of DreamWorks' best. Like, I know you consider it boring. We have different tastes on that matter.
Yeah, like,
but to steal
animation wise, it still is definitely a classic.
To steal the name from one of that movie's most iconic scenes, the scene where Spirit receives the name Spirit. It's nearly the end of the fucking movie. The horse has been nameless the entire goddamn time until he gets the name, and it's one of, like, the iconic lines of dialogue, and she just fucking wholesale Spirit that could not be broken. Not even just, like, unbreakable Spirit, like, or something.
Okay, but, like, correct me if I'm wrong, hasn't she ripped off, like, Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron in this book before?
No, she ripped off, like, Howl's Moving Castle, I think, somewhere. No, I think she ripped off Howl's Moving Castle in Ekatar. Or maybe that was here. She rips off a lot of things.
Yeah.
But this one's, like, blatant. This one's not even like, oh, you could chalk that up to it being a generic fantasy trope.
Or just, like, a reference or something.
Like, again, though,
I don't know.
Make it, well, because, like, Selena's not even a horse girl. If they were having this conversation, like, in the stables or something, and, you know, it was, oh, Selena's favorite horse instead of a dog, I'm like, okay, I guess, but anyway.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this to me.
Selena was held in place. She could feel the name fall upon her like a shimmering veil. This was unconditional love. Friends like this did not exist. Why was she so fortunate as to have found one? Yeah, why are you so fortunate when you have been mistreating and mistrusting Nehemia for, like, a couple weeks at least, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's some damage. And then, of course, Nehemia just forgives her and reaffirms their friendship with no questions asked.
You're gonna do that, girl.
Come, Nehemia said brightly. Tell me about how you became Aderlin's assassin, and how you wound up in this castle exactly, and what the details are of this absurd competition. Selena smiled slightly as Fleetfoot wagged her tail and licked Nehemia's arm.
She's a visiting royal and she doesn't know anything about the competition?
Yeah, that seems a little off. Like,
yeah, it's like she's been here for, like...
I thought that they're competing to be the king's champion was public knowledge.
Yeah.
Because people are getting eliminated.
Yeah. People are literally dying in this competition.
Like, correct me if I'm fucking wrong, but I thought that part at least was common knowledge.
Yeah.
She had saved her life somehow. Answers for that would come later, so Selena spoke.
Magic,
But
asshole.
You don't get any of the backstory, because we're gonna time skip Tildy over that. So if you're wondering how she became an assassin, why Arabin Hamill picked her up and started training her, nope, you don't get any of that.
Nehemia gets that, but you don't, as the reader. You don't get anything.
The following morning, Selena walked beside Kaol, her eyes on the marble floor of the hallway. The sun radiated off the snow in the garden, making the light in the hall nearly blinding. She told Nehemia almost everything. There were certain things she'd never tell anyone, and she hadn't mentioned Cain or the creature either. Why not?
She just saved your life from the creature. You might as well tell her about it.
Why would you not share that information immediately with everyone you possibly could that Cain is the culprit and has been doing dark magic?
Because stupid.
And like
hit by the stupid stick.
And when asked to explain how you would know that, all you had to do is be like, because he tried to kill me last night. Like, what are they gonna do? Not keep an eye on him?
Yeah. Like, would they take Cain's word over hers? They're both
criminals,
yeah,
as far as they're concerned, and She's got Kaol and the prince on her side.
Yeah.
Nehemia hadn't asked her again what had bitten her hand, but had stayed with her, curled up in bed as they talked long into the night. Selena, unsure how she'd ever sleep again now that she knew what Cain could do, had been grateful for the company. Gosh, if only you could tell someone about that. If only there was an easy answer within reach. She pulled her cloak tighter around her. The morning was unnaturally frigid. You're quiet today. Kaol kept his gaze ahead of them. Did you and Dorian have a fight? Dorian. He'd stopped by last night, but Nehemia had shooed him off before he could enter the bedroom.
No, I haven't.
This is real sapphic hours. Fuck off.
No, I haven't seen him since yesterday morning.
After the events of last night, yesterday morning seemed like a week ago. Did you enjoy dancing with him at the ball? Were his words a bit sharp? She turned to him as they rounded a corner, heading toward a private training room.
Okay.
I can't tell who's... Oh, it's her.
You left rather early. I would have thought you'd want to guard me the whole night.
You don't need me to watch you anymore. Yes, she fucking does.
I didn't need you to watch me from the start.
Yes, she fucking did. He shrugged. Now I know you're not going anywhere. No, you fucking don't.
She breaks out that night.
Outside, a howling wind kicked up a flurry of snow, sending a sparkling wave into the air.
I could go back to Endovier.
You won't.
How do you know that?
I just know.
That gives me heaps of confidence.
Why would you go back to Endovier? That place fucking sucks.
Yeah.
He chuckled, continuing toward the sparring room. I'm surprised your dog didn't run after you for all the crying she did just now.
If you had a pet, you wouldn't make fun,
she said gloomily. I've never had a pet. I never wanted one.
That's probably a blessing for whatever dog might have wound up as your companion.
He jabbed her with an elbow. She grinned and elbowed him back. She wanted to tell him about Cain. She'd wanted to tell him when she saw him at her door this morning. She wanted to tell him everything.
Why don't you tell him then?
Give me your flimsy excuse, bitch. Come on. But he couldn't know, because, she'd realized last night, if she told him about Cain and the creature he'd unleashed, then he'd ask to see the remains of the creature, and that meant taking him into the secret passage. While he might trust her enough to leave her alone with Dorian, knowing that she had access to an unguarded escape route was a test she wasn't ready to give Kaol.
So
or you
instead
could just say it attacked you.
Or I'm just over here like, okay, so she claims to like care about people's lives and shit and all this fucking shit. But she's all like, oh, but I don't want to get in trouble for being access to a secret passage. So I'm just not going to tell everyone and not going to tell anyone and let people get murdered.
Yeah, like...
This is so selfish.
Hardly the point by this time, right? Like, oh no, you have access to a secret fucking just say you heard something last night and went to investigate and it was the first time you've been down there. Like,
see, okay,
lie, bitch, lie.
My view is that, like, in, like, you know, young adult literature and, you know, teenage literature and even, like, kids lit, when a character knows that they're going to get in trouble for something, but they have, like, knowledge of something dangerous happening, like, you know, all this stuff, like, you know...
The pretty common situation that tend to fall upon people.
Yeah, where it's all like, oh, I snuck out, and then I saw something horrible. They don't tend to keep that a secret because they know that in the end, even if they get in trouble for sneaking out or whatever, there's something more important going on than them getting grounded or so whatever. It's like...
Literal children grasp this. Usually, the thing that gets them into trouble is that they get to wherever the shit was and it's gone.
Yeah.
And then the adult or whoever is like, oh, you were making up a story for attention. And the kid is like, why would I fucking do that? Because now I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, I put my ass on the line for this.
Yeah. And, like, you know, it's not like even that would happen because Kaol knows that there's shit going down, people are getting murdered. I'm sure he would appreciate any lead that he could come up with.
Fuck this.
Besides, I killed it. It's over. Elena's mysterious evil is vanquished. Now I'll just defeat Cain in the duel and no one needs to know.
Yeah, the fact that there's over 10 chapters left to go would disagree with you, sweetheart.
10 chapters?
Over 10 chapters. At least most of them are going to be shorter than this one, I think. This is like a regular sized one. A lot of the rest are like only a few pages.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Hale stopped before the unmarked door of their practice room and whirled to face her. I'm only going to ask you this once, and then I won't ask it again, he said, staring at her so intensely that she shifted on her feet. Do you know what you're getting into with Dorian? She laughed, a harsh cawing noise.
Are you giving me romantic advice? And is this for my sake or Dorian's?
Both.
I didn't realize you cared enough about me to bother or even notice.
He doesn't care about you, he cares about his boyfriend.
To his credit, he didn't take the bait. Instead, he just unlocked the door. Just remember to use your brain, will you? He said over his shoulder and entered the room. Time skip tilde. An hour later, sweating and still panting from the swordplay practice. See, I feel like if you're going to say it's an hour later, you don't also need the time skip tilde. Usually a time skip tilde is for like, we're skipping scenes and it's not going to be immediately obvious, so here's a visual signifier that we're moving from either time or place. Anyway, an hour later, sweating and still panting from the swordplay practice, Selena wiped her brow on her sleeve as they made their way back to her rooms. The other day I saw you were reading Elric and Emide, he said.
Edward Elric!
Elric, you say? I thought you hated poetry.
It's different. She swung her arms. Epic poetry isn't boring or pretentious.
Oh? A crooked smile twisted across his face. A poem about massive battles and boundless love isn't pretentious. She playfully punched his shoulder and he laughed. Surprisingly delighted at his laughter, she cackled. But then they turned a corner and guards filled the hall and she saw him, the king of Adderlin. Dun, 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 dun. Cliffhanger, and that's where we end.
Yeah.
So, alright. Well, we made it through an episode of recording and didn't die, so I hopefully we're back. Hopefully
We are so back.
Hopefully this is the end of the hiatus and we continue to improve our health. But yeah. Alright, let us know what you thought down in the comments. And keep growing until next time, Rose Garden.
Bye.